Cricbuzz Comm Box, just moments before we went on air, Michael Vaughan was remarking, well, stroll in the park for England, that wicket falling at the nick of time for India, but you'd say maybe just a little patch of mud you stepped on while still strolling in the park, Michael?
Yeah, I mean, whatever Butler's out there, it's a stroll in the park. He's played equally as well as Virat Kohli, 53 from 29. He's just attacked the power play, loses his partner in Jason Roy, and then suddenly went for it. David Milan did what he generally does, knocks it around at run a ball for his first 20-odd balls. I guess if India wanted to get one wicket, it's the Butler wicket that they would have liked. I guess they can just hope for a little bit of panic, but this England team is just full of so much power and experience that the pitch is playing okay. I would expect England to have enough to get this score quite comfortably.
Yeah, I think that was the big question. Everyone had their eyes on this red soil pitch. It already showed that the extra bounce was there. Mark Wood exploited it. But in terms of the prodigious turn, there was that one googly early on from Adil Rashid. But even the one that got David Milan stumped didn't really turn square, just beat the bat. Almost a straighter one.
Yeah, I mean, there's been that one, as you mentioned, Chahal. It spun square. Other than that, it's played quite nicely for the batters against the spinners. India have just got to try and find some pressure, and the only way they're going to build pressure is continuously get wickets. It looks the kind of pitch that a Butler or a Owen Morgan, a Ben Stokes, they'll always be able to find the boundary. So they have to try and get wickets, India. So Virat might have to gamble. He might have to bring in a fielder or two to try and get them hitting over the top, potentially down the ground. Might have to bring in Coor Point to put the squeeze on to try and get a couple of dot balls because if he just allows the field to spread, I think England will chase down this target quite comfortably. So he might have to be quite creative as a captain.
Now, one area, Michael, he can't be too creative is to turn to someone else on the field because we keep saying this. India going with their 5 bowling options on a good day. It looks fine if everyone can contribute. But on a day when you may want to find 1 or 2 from somewhere, he just doesn't have the option.
No, I mean, I guess, and also the quality of no Jasprit Brummer, no Ravi Jadeja. Jadeja plays, he probably comes in for a batter, so you would have 6 bowling options. So it is harder for India to get the 6 bowling options in with the injuries that they have. That's why Virat's going to have to be very clever. He's going to have to manoeuvre his bowlers very carefully, very cleverly. He might have to nick the off spinner as soon as a left-hander comes in, nick another over out of the way. He certainly wouldn't want to be bowling the off spinner when there's 2 right-handers out there. And he'd also be scared of bowling Washington Sundar too many balls to someone like Josh Butler. But it might be the gamble that he needs to take. He might have to take on that kind of gamble where he bowls the off spinner to Josh Butler, knowing that in the game before, he did get Johnny Bairstow out. He got Jason Roy, who was set, and he got caught at deep mid-wicket. So these are the little tricks and gambles that Virat Kohli may have to play to get India over the line and get that victory.
Yeah, I know it's sort of almost clutching at straws, but you keep talking about the Joe Root example, be it one-day cricket or test match cricket. We saw what he was able to do with the absence of somebody else around, or even if someone like Dom Bess is just not bowling the way he'd like, he can turn to himself. So even if it's not a pure Jadeja or Akshar Patel, if you can have one of your top 3 or 4 batsmen, somebody you can turn your arm over, it's always useful, isn't it? Yeah,
the problem for India is that the top order batters are all wicket keepers. So generally, they don't bowl. Yeah, I mean, you go back to Suresh Raina, Juve. You had many of that top 6 that could just bowl an over or 2. Saurav Ganguly back in the day just bowled maybe an over. Sachin bowled pretty much anything, seamers, leg spinners, off spinners. In this era of the game, I see young batters that come through. I don't think there's any excuse why they wouldn't be able to bowl something. T20 cricket, just bowl something that you could add to your team, give your captain another option. Because India desperately going to need that 6th and potentially 7th bowling option when it comes to the World Cup.
So just to wrap things up here, the stroll in the park continues. The Malan wicket, just a little hiccup, and I think Morgan would probably like to come in at some point in time, or maybe not even come in, and just finish off his 100th T20 international on a winning note.